Yeah, well, I have nothing half as interesting as. Well, I'm sure you guys heard that.
Well, there you go. He's off to Heath Coachart status. I'm not really that interesting, guys. I don't really know why I'm here, but I guess if you want to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm only a maestro on a skateboard and, an Olympian at school, but... Welcome! Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk. Hey everybody, it's Jason Ellis and Tony Hawk. Hawk vs. Wolf, greatest podcast of all time in the history of the universe.
What he said about our podcast, and we have decks that are of the podcast.
Signed by the greatest skateboarder of all time in the history of the universe, and me.
2 decks. Go side by side, signed by each of us, right there. Black with silver.
I love this board so much.
Tim Baring art on both of these.
Shout out to Tim. And get yourself one of these bad boys.
Black and silver, diptych. Available now.
Get one today.
You can get it at TonyHawk.com and in the shop right there. There's a little menu, upper right, shop. See both of these. Click add to cart, and we hope you give it to someone that has liked and described already.
Yeah. Make sure you do that if you haven't.
Thank you. What is happening, Jagger? Jagger Eaton is here.
Yeah, you should shut the door. It's better for the show.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Professional.
Command.
I'm a very professional
Was that intimidating to you?
broadcaster.
Was that intimidating? Oh, you got the finger. I guess not.
I meant it was more for Jared because I like to talk to Jared in a disrespectful.
Jared has nothing to do with our show, by
I know,
the
but
way.
I still like
He's just doing that out of the kindness of
I
his
yell
heart.
at Jared just when I walk in the office. What are you doing? Is it good? Probably not, is it?
Seems like you guys run a great podcast here.
Well, you're in the.
We're learning.
You're in the
We're learning.
skateboard.
Actually, we have not been in this studio
Right. Another reason why I'm
in a couple
nervous.
months. So.
Usually now we have a new podcast company, Paragon, and it's like all these people that run like all the most successful podcasts in the world. And they're like, on it, you know, man, this would be a good idea. And this is on the camera and the board. And then I'm like, I'm watching them all and I'm like, wow, these guys are very serious. So when I come down here and there isn't one of them here, I immediately flash back to,
I didn't turn the camera on. I didn't turn the board on. I didn't have, and I'm like, and when it all happened, it was
me. It was you, Jason. You were on satellite radio for 20
Yeah, but
years.
wait, hold on. We did not have help.
No.
We didn't have help. Like we didn't have a studio to go to in addition to this one. It was this. It was us. That's it. So Jared saved the day. Brianna saved the day.
She does all the time.
And
So-
you guys normally shoot in San Diego, or you guys kind of?
Nah, we're in LA.
LA.
Well,
okay.
I would prefer to be shooting here. Thank you for being here. We're in LA. There's no way I'm claiming that. We're in LA.
Yesterday,
Not after
Tony
my
got up real early.
drive yesterday.
Today I got up real early to come down here. Eh?
That one time.
Okay. I guess. Fair enough.
You know when you hit you hit home in the nav and then it just comes up with an estimate. You're like, dude.
Yeah, mine did that this morning,
Yeah.
and I didn't go, dude. I was like, hey man, like we're doing shows. I'm tired. I'm sore. I like hurt my arm the other day because I punched somebody. Andy McDonald.
No,
Are
it took
you-
me
are you
almost
still
4
fighting?
hours.
Nah,
No, you just
Nah.
what were you?
I
punching?
train.
You train. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I do some light sparring,
Gotcha.
but not. I don't take fights.
Yeah. Yeah. I trained MMA for 6 years.
What?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Nuh-uh. Wait.
At the same time as skating.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was about 12 years old, and I actually was getting bullied.
Yeah.
I was getting bullied, and my dad saw me get slapped up, and he saw that and was like, "Okay, we're gonna get you into fighting."
My son's doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was. I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
What age when you started?
About 12 years old.
And for 6 years.
Yeah.
MMA, not just one aspect. You did MMA from the get-go.
Yes, MMA. Yeah. So.
What was your...
Did it deter bullying from that point on, or did you just like? I'm so curious as to how the sort of full circle comes on that.
Because it gives you confidence.
No, I know it gives you confidence, but if someone's hassling you, what happens?
Well, I mean, I think that what you learn when you start fighting is you learn not to fight.
Yeah.
Like that's what you learn first. Like I gained a profound respect for martial arts. Like I just, when I got into it, it was me and my brother doing it collectively. And we would do 1.5-hour sessions every Saturday morning at 9:00. And we would basically do sparring with the coach back and forth. And then the last 30 minutes was us sparring each other, me and Jet. And so we would spar each other. And what I learned from that is after like 2 years, when I got into another scuffle again with whether it was anybody, you know, just being around, being a kid, I wasn't scared. And and it's honestly like I learned how to, if someone were to throw something at me or run up me and try to grapple me or take me down or take me to the ground, it was always like 1 or 2 moves just to move them away and just continue with your day. You know?
It's less traumatizing. Like I don't care how old you are or how tough you are. When you're in a fight and people are throwing stuff at you and you don't fight, it's a traumatizing event. But when you've been in the gym for years, you're like, you know, like someone's trying to punch me in the head. I've been punched in the head so much that you're just angry, and I'm not in this emotionally. I'm trying to get out of it because I understand when I get hit, it's not cool, and when I do that to other people, that's not cool. So I'm not looking. Some people might get a little triggered, but most people, when they do it for as long as you did, have respect for their fellow humans and don't wish to smash their bones on people.
But it's always the fantastical version is what we see in movies and whatnot, where it's like you secretly trained and the next time something happens, you like get into a black belt position.
Yeah. No, that's
and
not the case.
kick someone's ass. But I like that attitude better. It's like, oh, now I know how to just deflect and be over it.
It's such an ego death. Yeah. Right. Like getting punched in the face when you're a kid at 13 years old is an ego death, especially because when you're fighting in gyms, you're not like I was sparring my brother to learn. But most of the time, I was sparring other fighters who were way better than I was, who were picking me apart. Like round after round, I'd walk out of there, and I'm just like, oh my gosh! Like I realized that I know absolutely nothing. Right. Like, and you just keep going and you enjoy it because I was never a good grappler. I never had a lot of upper body strength, but I was always really tough and I was dedicated and I enjoyed it. Right? Because in skateboarding, you learn how to just endure.
That's what I was gonna say.
Just fall.
I had a full scuffle on the playground in elementary school. And this dude pinned me down. He's way bigger than me. And this dude pinned me down and he just started punching and I was laughing at him. And he got so mad that he quit. Yeah. And it was more like, I
wouldn't recommend that
this pain.
Move all
What's
the
that?
time. I wouldn't recommend that to everybody else for their self-defense, but that did
No,
work
but
for you.
I didn't have any other, you know what I mean? I had no resources. I had no training. I just had skating.
Right, because you're
and
so
I knew the
used
pain
to
of
it.
skating and I was like, come on, dude. And I was laughing and then he's like, that's all I got. And then he got up and left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely would recommend every kid to start fighting. Yeah. And I would recommend kids to start fighting to not fight. Yeah. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Is that go learn how to fight. Go get really comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. And after even a year or 2 years, you'll be like, you know what? Like I'm all about peace.
The
like,
biggest one to me is when people do want to fight, the anxiety that I used to have versus now where I'm like, come on, man. Like, you really don't want to. Versus I'll puff up and be like, oh yeah, because I'm trying to scare you because I really don't want to fight either. Yeah. But now if someone's like, you want to go? I'm like, no. You know, like, really? Do we have to? Yeah. It seems kind of ridiculous. Like, because you cut me off and I gave you the finger? Like, it's pretty overrated. and then if there was something that goes, like, my eyes are open. Like, I don't go, oh, you know, I'm like, well, go on. You know, because I know I got you. If I haven't seen you on TV, I got your ass for sure. And then the other thing you said, when people are better, that was the biggest one to me. Every time I got better, I'd come back to the gym and I'd be like, oh man, like I know some stuff now. And then I'd fight a guy who's good and I'd see how calm his face is while he's beating my ass. And I'm like, you're not even trying. Like I reach and it's like, whack, and kick my leg. And I'm like, what? Where? How did you come with like a 4-punch combination? He's like, wham, 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 like that. Good job, man. Good. Or I've hit a guy flush.
You're doing great, honey.
Yeah.
But what did you take any of that to cross over to your skating?
I mean, really for me, I just enjoyed fighting. That was just something that I enjoyed. Skating is something where like you learn concrete's undefeated when you're young. Like you learn that at a young age. You're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna endure this, but. I mean, I think the crossover from MMA to skating is I learned how to control my emotions under pressure. Wow. Right? Like, I think that was the biggest thing. When and the way my upbringing went was all competition. You know, I
right.
filmed
And
very little in the
that's what I
streets.
wanted to ask you, because I have seen you, and you get that flow state, eye of the tiger, whatever you want to call it, and you're in it, and it's just like, oh, he's gonna make everything. Everything's easy for him. But through the years of competition, I know you have to develop that. But did you have it early on, that calmness?
No, I never had it early on. And I really don't believe that some competitors get that naturally. Like, I think that has to be created. And the way that I created it was just hard work. Like, the way that I was regimented as a kid was I was really regimented like a gymnast. The way that I did skateboarding was 3 in a row or 5, and if I didn't have the trick, I would do 7. I would do 7 tries and then try to make one, and then if I didn't make it, I would go back to doing 7 or up to 14, and it was always about the numbers. And numbers to me created the confidence
And consistency.
Yeah, and the consistency. And also as a kid, like, I had so many great people I was skating with, right? At the time, like, I had Jedi, my buddy Cam, I had Cam Kriegel and Cam Sedlick. I had all of my buddies there, Aaron Gore, and we were just loving skating. Like, we were just so obsessed with it, right?
But
and
if you're approaching it like that, in terms of like the numbers, does that pull the fun out of it for you?
Of course.
It does.
Of course it does. Yeah, it definitely pulls the fun out of it a little bit.
Because it's the pressure you put on yourself.
Yes. Yeah, it's really
So what is your most fun type of session?
My
Scenario.
most fun type of scenario or type of session is me and my friends in the park just skating. And honestly, at this point, even if I'm skating with my friends but still doing the numbers, I have no problem with it, right? I think that I've realized that, like, the curse is a blessing, the blessing is a curse. Like, I love that I still have that, like, I have that work ethic to create consistency, and when I'm under pressure, it feels like another day in the park, right? Because truthfully, the competition to me is fun, right? Because it's over after that. But I'll walk into the park sometimes with tricks and lists and numbers that I have to do that will either take me 45 minutes or 3.5 hours.
That's what I see Reese going through every day.
And
she has to do things like 5 and 10 at a time.
Yeah,
like
and it's kind of just like, well, I better try to have fun, like, you know what I mean? Because the truth is, I love skating, and it is what my perception is of it.
Okay, so you said something that resonates with me about competition, especially when it's over. I remember looking at my watch, going, "All right, in 45 minutes, this whole thing's done."
Good or bad?
Good. Like, yes, I'm finally at that point where I can look at my watch or look at the time and be like, by the end of this hour.
Do you think you're telling
This is
yourself that
over.
because you're like, I need my adrenaline, I need my focus? Like, you see the actual time and you're like, I'm going
I
to
think,
give...
no, I just see a relief in sight. It's like he said, like, that you're looking forward to it being over.
I'm looking forward.
I mean, I know, like, yes, I get that you're performing, and then when things click, it's like, oh,
It's great.
this thing's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying. I'm trying, but it's all just machine.
Yeah.
But also I'm looking forward to that moment when all the pressure's gone.
Yeah.
Was there a time for you, Tony? Because I remember people would say that you were the guy that, or you even said it, I think, after a contest, you would be the guy that would start trying stuff after the contest.
Yeah, because all the pressure's off to be making everything.
So you didn't want to, like, after the contest, you didn't want to stop skating?
No, I mean, I'm sure I was tired that day, but the next morning,
Okay.
I was right back at it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, that was usually, I looked forward to that.
The session afterwards.
Yeah, the session after, because all the pressure's off and I can go learn tricks.
You know what?
I'm allowed to bail.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, I think, and I think that for me, it's tough because I don't skate a lot with my friends, which is unfortunate. And
Skate by yourself.
I skate a lot by myself. Yeah, because the hours that I skate at and the stuff that I'm doing, it's most of the time I'll show up with the USA skate coach John Nicholson, and we'll go to the park and we'll grind through what we need to, and then I'll be done for the day, and then I'll come back tomorrow. And at these times that I skate at, they're not really likable times. You know what I mean? Like, I skate.
Oh no, that's our hours.
Yeah, like I skate.
Hit us up because we're on the adult swim hours.
Yeah.
By 1 p.m., I am done skating.
Yep. Yeah. I skate from like 10:30 to 12:30 every day most of the time.
It's 10 a.m. right now. Andy McDonald's on the ramp.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just made me realize
That's my
that
vibe.
because now I skate as an older guy, and when I skated as a younger guy, yeah, it was like getting dark, and I'm trying to get a few more rides in,
Yeah.
and now 5 o'clock. Like,
Oh no,
I'm
we're
coming
of the
to bed at 5
generation.
o'clock.
We're of the generation where the guy's pulling the chain across the ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be like trying to ollie.
I'm trying one more shot.
Yeah.
No,
Or
dude,
somebody
I'm
would
going
drop in
home.
and try to ollie the chain
So-
because they were
yeah.
like, I'm just going to try and do this more. And we're like, what is the point? But
Did you ever have those sessions? Do you know what we're talking about?
I did try to ollie a chain one time, but I never had the session where somebody was like, okay, dude, like I'm putting the chain on the ramp. I never had that, but I did have like, okay, the lights are going out. Like, let's figure it out.
Oh yeah, well, or they just turn them out. They just turn them off.
Yeah, or they just turn them off. Yeah.
Had that too. Midair.
Yep.
Lights out.
Yep. Yeah, because they
that's
were like, I'm
sketch.
turning the lights off, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm dropping in.
but I'm gonna go until the light is off. Know that? Like, I'll call your bluff. Really, make it off.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Ellis from Hawk vs. Wolf. Goodr sunglasses. Like I like sunglasses. I wear a lot of sunglasses. I'm a busy guy, and sometimes I lose sunglasses. And I know most people do this because I've heard several of my friends through the years say, "Oh man, I lost my sunglasses," or "Oh man, I broke my sunglasses." What if I told you these sunglasses looked cool and they got like the proper lenses and stuff, like they're not jank, and they're $25? Like, I feel like I would just buy 4 pairs, and then if you broke a pair, I'd be like, no worries, mate. And then I would just pull out another one, and then Bob would be my uncle. They've got really cool names. A Ginger's Soul, pretty good. $9 pour over, pretty good. But honestly, Donkey's Goggles. I'm buying 4 pairs of donkey goggles, and then if you sit on them, I'd be like, oh, mate, you sat on me donkey goggles. And people be like, what the hell is going on? And be like, don't worry about it. I got more donkey goggles where that came from because they're $25. You could get, wait, let me do the math. You could get 20 pairs of donkey goggles for the price of 1 pair of douche glasses. Who's winning? First of all, you're a douche, and you've just lost $450. Yeah, I don't do math good. I know. But donkey goggles, Goodr, Bob's your uncle. They're always releasing new colors and collabs, so you can lay low or get wild. I'm assuming wild would be donkey goggles. Stylish sunnies starting at $25 a pair, 1-year warranty. For $25, I would just buy another pair, but they got a 1-year warranty on them, so you can get them back if somebody sits on them. 30-day free returns for $25 sunglasses. These guys know they've got good sunglasses. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Lightweight and comfortable, 100% polarized. Stylish, lots of good colors. If you're active or running, they don't slip or bounce. Easy to clean. And how do you do this, Jace? How can I be a part of the team? I'm glad you asked. You just got to go to goodr.com/wolf, and then you use the promo code WOLF, as in I got a wolf on my head, and that's what they call me, and free shipping. So it is straight up $25, and you've got donkey goggles in your hand for $25. Don't be a douche. Go to goodr.com/wolf, use the code WOLF, and join me in being awesome because it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. When you were working on tricks, like when it was like when you were like really in the competition era of your career, were you thinking like when you were on the vert working on tricks that you wanted to put them in competition, or were you just thinking about?
No, they were always
for contests.
keep in my back pocket for contests.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
It really wasn't until the 90s kind of video generation where it was like, oh, yeah, I could just do this once and get it on video and be done with it. But also, there were no competitions then. So we weren't striving for that anymore. But I also I like to have especially new stuff, I like to have that as a backup for a demo or something. Mm-hmm. You know?
Okay.
Where it's like, oh, I do have this new thing, and maybe I'll try one and see if I get close, and if I get close, I'll follow through with it.
Yeah.
I remember you always had new ones at the end of your ride, and I feel like I didn't realize this.
Well, that was always the strategy. It was like, get a couple of good runs in. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, but
you want to get one on the board. You know, you want to score something.
Yeah.
Okay, and then build on that. And then if you build on that, then you got a 3rd or 4th run.
Right.
Try everything.
Right. I always didn't realize until later that you didn't get scored as fairly as others because they were like, well, we saw you do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, but if you saw him do it, no one else can do it still. So why are you downplaying the 7
because you know that he can. It seems like every contest he does the 7 pretty
Sure,
easy.
but that's the same thing
yeah.
with like what when you see what he's doing for the park and the Olympics. It's hard to hide anything, and all the judges are all there, hanging out, and so they've seen what you're capable of in the most difficult way, right? They've seen you're actually best of the best, and so if you don't do that, they're like, yeah, but we saw him do that. Blunt frontside kickflip. Like, what do you talk? Why wasn't that there?
Yeah, it's like the innovation curse is what I like to call it. It's. I think for me too, when I bring a new trick on the scene or I'm working on in the park, my whole thing is I'm always thinking about like the big events, right? Like for me, it's like the SLS Super Crown or X Games or like the Olympics, right? So my head's like, okay, I want to compete this trick before that moment. Yeah. Like I want to see how I do this trick under pressure, because whether I landed or not, I'll know where my mind was at that moment, and I can recreate that in the park and work on it. And then when I really need it, I got it down. So I think that now it's just it's very similar to what you did as well. When you add you'd get runs on the board and then add to like the last trick in the run,
sure,
and feel how it is, right?
But it's the same thing. Is you want to know that you're able to land it because of your own directive, not because it's the big show.
Yes.
Because if you have that, then you have those tricks at any given time.
Yes.
Have you ever done the trick, know you can do the trick, but not do it in practice because the judges might see it, and if you do it later on and it's more of a surprise? Because I think you did that, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying, is that the judges are all around in all the practice sessions. So if Jagger's on point and he's doing his hardest stuff, they're like, oh, that's the measure that we're going to judge by now.
There's only one time I've ever done that, which is funny. It's only one time I've ever done that, because I've always believed that the judges kind of know who's going to win before the event.
If they
right?
make
like
it right.
If they're watching the practices and they're watching everybody go, no one's going to, most of the time, like miracles, like crazy, outrageous runs aren't going to happen, right?
Yeah.
They're going to, what you're going to see is what you're going to get in practice, especially at these Olympic events, because they hold so much importance. But the one time it happened was in the World Championships in Dubai this time last year. And it was flick back nose blunt, and I added that in my park run, and I didn't do that beforehand at all, and it was kind of a Hail Mary, because
you have done it.
Yeah, I have done it before, but I did not do it in practice or the times before at all. I just kind of pulled it out.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it takes, and that's what set you apart.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite frank, though, I hate that.
It shouldn't have so much weight.
Yes.
To the judges.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But they'd never seen it, and they may think that it was the first time ever done, and it's like, well, then give them 5 more points, and it's a curse and a blessing, absolutely. But that's don't hate the player, hate the game.
Way better strategy. Like my strategy was like, if you land good, go for something you've never done before and blow minds. and
How'd that work out?
Yeah, I'm a hidden character in one of Tony's video games. So that's how it worked out.
It worked.
It worked. No, it didn't.
No?
He didn't.
What do you mean? That's not a mark of success?
You put me in the video game because I put you under pressure on the radio to put me in the video game. You know what got me
we all
in
had
the
different
video
paths
game?
to success.
I feel like what got me in the video game is my mouth at the bar after the contest. But Tony was like, hey, man, you're kind of funny. And then it was like, hey, man, you want to be on the radio show with me? And then it was like, the radio show got big, and I was like, hey, man, you got the second game coming out. Like, I'm your homie. What's up? And he was like, dude, all right.
Success is success, dude.
Yeah.
But if it hadn't worked, Jagger, would have been so much cooler than you guys, because they knew you could do it, but I didn't know I could do it, neither did they.
But it turns out I couldn't do it. But man, I got close a couple times. I remember landing, I was like, just fuck it. As soon as I landed good, I was like, this is it. Right now, this is the kickflip McTwist. You'll make it for sure this time. Have I practiced it? No. Have I got close? No. But I am amped up. And my blood is heated. God damn it, if my hand gets that board, it is going down.
It never went down.
I mean, but the truth is, like, recreating that moment of feeling that hype, you can't do that when you're just practicing. Like, you can't do that when you're just at the vert ramp with your friends.
That's the discipline and the training that you're talking about, where
exactly
you can unlock it.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of
rare.
time.
That's super rare, and that is something you have in droves.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen you like I've seen you compete, and I've seen you lock in where it's just like, dude, he's got every trick. Like all these are just checking boxes.
We were
Boom,
talking
boom,
before you
boom.
got here, and he was saying like, you know, I'm here to win medals for my country, and I was like, that is a competitor's mind, you know, like that is a.
I mean, that again, like I absolutely love skateboarding to death. Like I seriously, I don't know where I'd be without it. It's something every day that I look forward to. I mean, it's seriously like instinctual now. Like I've done it for so many years. It's like when you skate, you almost start thinking about other things and have clarity on other problems because of how much you've skated before. You know, so again, like I look forward to it every day. But you know, I am a competitor. You know, and I really enjoy competition, and I do enjoy like the pressure of like competing for your country. Like I do enjoy that, you know, from like where my family was, like, you know, how my family is with just watching gymnastics all those years, and both my parents being Olympic level competitors in gymnastics. And that was all I heard about, you know? So when that came to fruition to skateboarding, I was like, oh my gosh, like this feels so comfortable, you know, because I do love street skating, and I do love that creative outlet. I do. It's just, it's hard to maintain that and also try to do park and street. You know, it's hard to like maintain street footage because, man, like you go through, there's so many different injuries that happen through street and park. There's just very different.
What are the differences?
The differences is like, is for me, it's like if I were to say just your ankles alone in street, you're hot pocketing your ankles.
That was the end of my
Yeah, in street you're hot pocketing your ankles.
Wait,
and
what's
in
hot
park,
pocketing?
hot pocketing is when you land like this.
Oh, yeah,
hot
yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
And in park, because you're wearing pads, you're overextending.
Oh.
So it's your shins. So you're like it's upper ankle sprain and posterior tendon tears. And you just go back and forth.
Are you a sports tape guy or anything like that?
No, I mean I try to not tape that much.
You need the full mobility.
Yes. Yeah, I need the mobility, and also like the more you tape, the more you add like compression, the less your ligaments are used. So you're actually weakening your ankles, which is it's pretty crazy. Yeah, but I do stem cells and PRP and stuff.
Heard that.
Olympic competitor here.
Yeah, because my ankles were always bad, but I always taped them because they were so bad.
Yeah, I mean the lack of mobility, right? It's kind of like it comes to the point where you kind of need the compression to feel stable, which is like you shouldn't feel that way, because the more mobility, whether it hurts a little bit or not, it's like the strength that your ligaments are gaining is.
The older I got, the longer I was in competition, the more they would tape down. You know what I mean? Like I used to have the under tape, and then I got sweaty and it would still move, and I was like, right, I need to have no under tape. And then it would rip the hair off my legs, so I shaved my legs so I could tape it down more. And then I watched like some of those X Games medical people tape my ankle, and I'd be like, right, so he does the under and then he does the over, and I would do like some jank version, and because it looked jank, I'd be like, well, then I need more tape to add more strength to it. So I feel like my feet didn't even move in the end. They were just like in little shoe boxes.
They do make ankle braces, Jason.
Yeah, but they were
Just
too
FYI.
bulky.
Okay.
Those they are too bulky.
Now I've got it down. I wear compression socks, no tape. But I don't know if that's...
Yeah. Well, and also like for vert especially, it's not as much flicking. It's not as much flicking as it is in street, and also the impact's very different. Right, like when you fall on vert, most of the time it's like the 1-2 to your knees, and so like it all like, oh my god, I get like the worst shin splints from like falling on my knees, because it's just like boom, like especially in park, it's like I'll blast airs and fly to flat and just get like the shin splints a little bit, but. But like when you say you're taping your ankles, it's like when I notice like heel flip indies, for example, like heel flip indies.
You can't get your foot
I suck at heel flip indies because I try to flick my heel flips, but I was talking to Tate Crew, and he's like, dude, you got to flick down a little bit more on heel flip indies, because like it doesn't work like that.
It just flops over. It doesn't even really flip. It just kind of falls over.
Yeah.
And then you're watching it and catch it.
Yeah.
I think for the
Very
longest...
few people flick it like a street flick.
Yes. Yeah. And I try to do it like that, but it felt inconsistent.
So tell me how you do a heel flip again.
So, well, heel flip indies. It's like when you come up, you want to like kind of flick down on your heel flip indies.
Instead of
So
out
does
to the side.
Does that mean
out
you
to
wait
the
a little
side.
longer?
Yes, I wait longer. So I let my back wheels bonk out, and then I kick my front foot down on the board, and I try to just keep the board in front of me.
I'm doing heel flip indies today for sure.
Don't listen to me.
No, I am listening. Why would I listen to this guy? Have you seen his heel flip indies? Man, he gave me dirty.
Mine flip though.
Oh!
Ooh. I'm not alley-oop flop over guy.
A heel flip indie is
That's all
a
I'm
heel flip
saying.
indie.
Oh my god!
Not
swear to
in
God.
names.
It's
Just
so-
saying, mine
it's-
are not the alley-oop flop
So
overs.
on today. I feel like I'll make it first try.
Wait, I
Mine
got
aren't very consistent. I mean,
I do have
I
a
got-
question though.
What?
Was there ever a trick that you thought about that didn't come to fruition?
Ollie 7.
Ollie 7.
Yeah.
Man, that
No
was a real
shit.
quick answer.
Yeah.
No shit.
yeah, I mean,
Oh my god.
that ship has sailed, but
Ollie 7?
I wanted so bad to do it. I seen a couple people kind of try it. Elliot, Alex Perlson. It's definitely gonna be a revert. It might be actually like a double revert.
No.
You know what I mean? Cab 360 revert.
Wow.
But I would have taken anything.
Yeah. How
wow,
close did you
that's
get?
crazy.
I got to, because I could do cab 5s, like fakey 5s.
Yeah.
So I was
Dude,
kind of
that's-
approaching like that and trying to kick turn out of it.
Yeah.
But when I would start to push out to get my board on the wall, I was always right at coping and I just kept hanging up. And at one point, I caught my shins on the coping.
Because you couldn't get the pull out.
Because as soon as you start to spin, you've got to keep pushing your legs out to keep the board on your feet.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't snap high enough
Right.
to make that happen for a full 720.
Right.
Yeah.
Colin said I should have done it at the DC ramp
With the
because it
drop
was the
back?
offset.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I wasn't really feeling that though. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have done it, but the offset thing, I just couldn't get the right timing.
It's landed on a bank too, right?
No,
No,
it was
a super mellow
transition. Yeah,
quarter.
it was
Yeah.
transition.
Oh,
but
okay.
It was like 13 to 15 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I
Yeah.
did.
I mean, even Colin like called me at one point. He's like, "Hey man, this is the place for Ollie 7s," because he knew I was trying it.
Yeah.
He's like, I think it's this, and I went there and I was like, I can't adjust my whole way of skating
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, because I mean, even for 7s, it's like you're thinking if you're grabbing it, and I don't know if you've done have you done a grab 7 to fakie before?
No,
No, okay, but like I
you
feel
mean
like
forward to fakie?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, yeah. I've never
Like
done
Bucky.
one. Yeah, I've never done one. But like, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying are you saying fakie
I'm saying
pop
fakie.
7? Oh, dude, that's so hard. That is
Yeah,
so
that's
hard.
what I found out.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude! Because I'm
Don't feel too
thinking
bad,
like
Tony.
like
What's
I'm
that?
thinking like
Don't
the
feel too bad. He
because
said it's hard.
when I think
Jason,
Yeah, Tony.
do you ever feel like money is just flying out of your account and you have no idea where it's going? Well, I know it's all those subscriptions.
Yeah, I got some subscriptions that I shouldn't have, and I got a lot of dating app things that I don't want anymore because
And you keep paying for them.
yeah, I can't stop myself from being a whore.
You can.
How?
Rocket Money.
Rocket Money can stop
Rocket
me
Money can save you the subscriptions. It can't stop you from,
being loose.
yeah.
There's a better word for it, right?
But think about it, between streaming services, fitness apps,
Yeah.
dating
Oh, man.
apps,
Yeah, dating
delivery
apps.
services, parenting apps,
I should probably get some of those.
and I'm guilty of this too. So we use Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills.
You know, I got kicked off Tinder for impersonating myself.
Rocket Money can help you with your impersonations.
Right. Whoever that is, I hope you're having fun.
Did someone has your
Yeah,
account?
because they said I'm not me.
Are
and
you paying for their account?
Probably.
Well, Rocket Money could probably help you with that too.
I should definitely do that.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and helps save its members an average of $720 a year with over 500 million
Man,
in
you are
canceled
obsessed with
subscriptions.
yourself. It's insane how much you love yourself. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen. 720 degrees because that's the first guy I ever did on a skateboard. Me. Oh, wait. Dollars?
why
My
not?
bad. Stop wasting money with things you don't use.
That's my Uncle Rico read on this.
You're skateboarding Uncle
Totally.
Rico.
Yep, that's me now. That's what you get now.
You think when you're real old, you're going to be telling people?
Totally.
Like what time?
All day.
If it's ever 720,
Yeah,
you'll be like,
it's
guys,
absolutely,
it's
yeah.
720. Interesting point. Did you know I was the first guy to do it on a skateboard?
Like, yeah, you know that little Japanese kid, all he's 720 though?
I feel sorry for your wife, dude. It's going to be hell.
No, she won't listen to it. That's why I got to talk to you.
Yeah, oh. Well, then you're welcome, I guess.
She just tunes out.
Yeah. I find it riveting.
All right, so stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/wolf.
Yeah.
That's rocketmoney.com/
Yeah.
You got to say wolf.
Oh, Wolf. Sorry, it's me, man. Why don't you
rocketmoney.com/
Wolf?
just remember that's one way to remember it. The top of his head.
When I think about 7, I'm thinking like forward to fakie.
Yeah, well, see, the funny thing about that is that would be easier to come off the wall because you can scoop it,
Yes. Yeah.
right? But committing to that fakie without grabbing,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, Jimmy did it tail grab at the X Games.
Alex Perlson's
Yes.
good.
And Alex Perlson has done it also,
Yeah.
tail grab.
But when you see them do it, you're like, no.
That
especially-
last 180 is like do or die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so to know that your feet might be shifting around because you're ollieing, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
way.
can tell when Jimmy does it, like he needs his hand on that tail.
But also you can tell there's that moment of commitment where it's like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
Right, and
Because
there's
he throws it away all the time.
Yeah.
and if you do the forward to fakie one, because even Jimmy, who does the best ollie 5s, there's that last bit where he opens up and he kind of slides just a fraction when he lands. If you're going around another 180, you have to keep your tail sucked in. You can't because you can't start to open
Yeah.
up. You'd have to stay in a ball
But
longer.
have you done ollie 5s?
I've never done ollie 5s. No, I've never.
Yeah,
I've
I
done
mean,
them. I've done them like little hips before, but like I've never done like an
Okay.
ollie 5 on like a vert. But when I think about a forward 7 to fakie, I think that you can kind of do it in increments because you can do a 5 super big and kind of stall it out at the top and be like,
Sure.
okay, like it's gonna
And
be it's
ponder
scary.
it and
Yeah,
look
it's
at it.
scary
Yeah,
at 4
yeah,
feet
yeah,
at like 4 feet over the ramp,
Yeah.
but you can like slow that turn down. But fakie 7, it just feels like you're just like I've never done a fakie 7. And it's like terrify me because I feel like you just have to spin as fast as possible.
It's really all it takes is a good snap.
Yeah. See,
But also that's the thing, you're landing forward. So of course that's why I chose to do it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm happy to come up fakie and land forward
Because if it's
I
a
don't
little-
want to come down fakie after a 7. That's a one-way trip to the flat for me, for
Yeah.
sure.
See,
But
I
you
don't
but
really
you
do
did a
that.
bunch of mega stuff. I
I
mean,
did. Yeah.
so I am curious about that because I feel like that movement's kind of, I don't know. It's just not what it was.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of mega. Bob's still flying the flag for sure, but someone like you who was on the cutting edge of that, and then you just kind of shifted your focus.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Was that because of the Olympics?
No, it wasn't because of the Olympics. I think it was just because the progression was really slow in Mega, which makes sense. Like it's so dangerous,
Yeah.
right? Like every time you pad out for Mega, it's like you're risking it a lot, you know. So when because I competed Mega from like 11 to 15, and at 15 I realized I'm like, you know,
11 on the mega.
Dude, I have
Yeah.
the funniest like visuals of you coming up with your mouth guard.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and also at the point, it's like, okay, if I want to win a Mega, it's like I gotta like learn a 9,
Yeah.
or I gotta like tray flip the gap, or like do
Right.
something where
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I have to like stand out because at the time, Bob and Elliot and Jake did ollie 7. Remember that in Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Across the gap. Yeah.
Yes, like he did ollie 7. So I was thinking like, okay, I can't really win in this. I enjoy it, but I kind of want to find something where I can like find my own niche. And at the time, I've skated street like my whole life. Like that was where I kind of got started. And I was still skating street. And at 15 or at 13, I was competing Tampa. I got third in Tampa Am. And I was like, okay, like I feel really good like competing in street. And that was kind of when X Games did the Am stuff. And so I had an in there too. And I was like, okay, like Mega's kind of got to get put on hold. But I do really want to go back and skate
I have
it.
these vivid memories of we're doing commentary, and the session is so gnarly. It's Bob and it's Danny and Jake, and everyone's just like coming up the elevator, and here comes Jagger, just like pad straps, flying around, mouth guard, and everyone's just like up on the deck, and Jagger's like, "Is it my turn? Can I go? Is it cool?"
Not scared.
Like not scared, but also like weaving around people who are pondering their fate.
Yeah.
Just like, can I jump in now? Okay, is it cool? And I was just like, this is the craziest paradox.
I remember
right
being
here.
in those contests and like every now and then one of
Like
you
he
would-
wants to jump 60 feet right now.
Yeah.
You can't stop him.
Yeah, everybody else was like,
Everyone
this
else
could be
like-
my final ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
The eye contact is like like I'm there going, man, my whole life, and I look up and someone's like, like my whole life too, dude. And I'm like,
Yeah, and
man.
he like
and he's
he
like, hey,
squeezes
let's go.
around you. to have his turn.
Yeah, I'm glad you weren't there for my era. I'd be like, what the? How is he? Hey, we're having a good time. I'm like, no, man, I'm probably going to die
He's gonna
today.
take his mouth guard out to talk.
Wait, was it a double? Was it top and bottom?
Just top.
Okay.
Yeah, just top. Yeah.
Wait,
but,
did you get your mouth guard from MMA?
No, I never used a mouth guard for MMA.
What?
Yeah, I never used one for MMA. At least not until I was. Okay, I used one when I was 15, 16.
Okay.
Because that was but when I was a kid and I had zero upper body strength and like I was hitting, it's like.
And
whoever I
people
was
weren't
hitting was
allowed to
fine.
punch you in the face when you were a little kid, right?
Not too hard, no, not
Okay,
too hard.
good.
I mean, we still got punched in the face,
But
like,
not
that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Mega was just so fun, right? Like, I was this kid. I was this kid, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm competing Mega with like my heroes. Like I watched Danny Way's DC video part was like I based my whole skateboarding off of like the technical.
But that's what I mean. In that era, yeah, it seemed super fun because no one had paid the price yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And then Jake fell, and that kind of shifted the tone,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But also, everyone else, and, people started getting rocked kind of all at once.
Well,
right?
I mean,
you bounced off the coping.
That was the
Elliot,
first time I
too.
ever had 2 slams in one slam. Like, because I hit the coping, and I was like, I fell like 16 foot on an Indy 5. As soon as I grabbed my board and I was upside down, I knew I was over the deck. So I kicked my board out and started trying to wiggle around, and it stopped my spin. So I landed on my hip on the coping, and it was like, wham! And I was like, oh my, like I'm really hurt. And then all of a sudden I'm falling to the flat, and my feet start going over my head. I'm like, wait, another one? And I'm like, and then I tuck to like go over and land on my back on the flat, like, we'll go again. And I'm like, okay, now I'm like double dead. How does that work?
Or like Danny catching his feet.
Dude.
And then flipping forward and then getting up. And
Elliot hit the deck too.
I mean, you guys, like I weighed 90 pounds drenched in water. Like I was going
Sure, but
I was going 6 feet out of that bowl. I was going 6 feet out of that quarter pipe, fully pumping. Like I was going really slow.
yeah, but you can still.
It was still
but
definitely
because you're
dangerous, but-
that weight, if you had have hit the deck on a 6 foot air, you would have. I don't want to know what would happen.
Well,
to
I clipped my shins at the
11-year-old.
one. I clipped my shins at the one at Woodward. I clipped my shins hard and flew to flat.
I feel like that one wasn't
Yeah,
vert.
and I was. Or no, at the Woodward Mega. Like
Yeah, I'm saying that I feel like that Woodward Mega one just wasn't vert. I saw so many people
a lot of us
hang
clipped.
up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is not cool.
It was
I never got close. The only time I got close to coping is when I completely landed on it. Oh no! One other time at
I
summer.
did the pencil in a couple times where
The what?
I
you just scoot.
yeah, like
in?
I took off and I was like, oh, I'm over the deck, and then I just went straight like this to try to avoid. I didn't hit.
I looped out at the Summer X Games, but because I wobbled before I looped out, I backflipped over the deck and landed on my feet, kind of because they had the big mats.
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there.
the mats were so useless.
But like I did
Well,
the
maybe not.
I did a little dip before I went up the transition, like whoa, and then went whoa, and I was like, oh no, and then backflipped, and I was like, I'm dead for sure, dead. And not only did I land on my feet, but I landed
might
on
have been-
giant foam padding.
I was gonna say you're the only one those pads saved because the pads didn't go to the
yeah,
coping.
they were like 2 feet
No, they
away from the
didn't, and
coping.
you were always hitting the coping.
Yeah.
Well, and also like, why would they be 6 inches from the coping? Like that's even more dangerous because then it's like you're thinking about, oh my god, like these mats are really close. Am I gonna hit the
am I
mat?
gonna hang
Am
up?
I gonna?
Am I gonna hang up 2 feet back from the deck?
They needed somebody there who's also a Mega Ram skateboarder
Yes.
who's in charge of the mats to be, and we all know that if we're going over the deck, there's like a safe like over the deck, and then you're good.
That's my safe word.
Panic!
Bad, real bad, and then somebody pushes that.
Okay, I got you.
Just like somebody's there all day, 6 hours a day, waiting for the word bad or real bad. Real bad? Got it. Like, dude, what about your stupid loop? Where you're gonna, like, when the loop's bad, put the mat in the loop.
There's no time.
And I'm like, how do you know? You know, like, it's not.
Well, the
ever
funny
gonna
thing
work.
too is that you have about like 15 feet. Like if there were 4 people up there at the mat,
Dude, you could say it. I could have said it. In that Indy 5, I could have said, real bad, totally bad, so bad you don't even know.
I could have said a whole sentence, dude.
You could have said everybody's name on top of the quarter pipe and been like, please put the mat. And they would have put the mat in.
The only reason none of us said that is because none of us, we knew that nobody was going to save us. But
Excuse
Danny
me,
could have said it.
I think my takeoff was a little bad, and I'm looking like I'm going to be over the
You
deck
could
here.
fully say that.
If someone could put a mat down, that would be really helpful.
I could have
Thank you
typed
very
in my
much.
mum's phone number and said, Mom, help me.
Call my mom.
Yeah, called my
Call
mom,
my mom, I'm gonna
dude.
slam.
Mom, I love you. That's it.
That's a comedy bit. Dude, Farmer's Dog.
Bro, Farmer's Dog.
Still sponsored by Farmer's Dog.
So cool.
Are you
Farmer's
making fun of me?
Dog. You sound
Yeah.
funny, man.
Oh.
Yeah. One of my dogs is named Burger because my kids, when they were younger, the last Australian accent they had on any word was burger. Instead of saying burger, they said burger.
But what if you say burger to your dog?
It works because my kids call burger burger. So if I go burger, she still knows, but she prefers burger.
Do you give Farmer's Dog to Burger?
Yes, Burger really appreciates Farmer's Dog because
Probably prefers it.
Oh, definitely prefers it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at.
It's very good. It's very fresh. And if you love your dogs, do you love your dogs or are you like some sort of evil dog owner?
Yeah, you know, dogs should not be surviving. They should be thriving.
Yeah, and it makes them live longer. Scientifically
Yes.
proven. These are facts.
A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of benefits, from healthier coat and skin to better breath, even easier digestion, and smaller, better poops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Man,
right.
You just said poops.
A healthy diet. Should I have said something else?
Nah.
Feces.
You can say but they're going to
Smaller, better fecal
Yeah, stick to poops, dude.
discardings. I don't know. A healthy diet isn't just important for humans.
It's for your loved ones.
Yes.
Your dogs.
Keep them healthy. Keep them
Yeah.
alive. Let them live longer.
And do you want to get it for half off? Well, welcome to Hawk versus Wolf, baby.
That's right. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/hawkwolf.
Free shipping,
Plus free shipping.
which means half off. That's 50%. Wake up.
Just go to farmersdog.com/hawkwolf and get 50% off.
Yep. Total.
That's farmersdog.com/.
Hawk Wolf.
I was always worried too about like if you're going over 8 feet, if you were to just like pop out in the quarter pipe, right, and just like land on the deck,
No,
I was always worried
break
about
your
going
leg.
through the deck.
Oh,
Because it's just a piece of plywood up there.
I never thought of that.
Like I was always worried about just going up.
Yeah.
Like talking about your all-time backfires. You imagine going like, okay, I'm good, boom, and just going straight through the plywood. Oh man, yeah, that ramp was dangerous.
That's the summary.
It
of
was
our
dangerous.
discussion.
Yeah.
We rode it.
But
in
it was fun, man.
We
I
did one in
enjoyed it.
Mexico City, and the altitude's different, and we didn't really know. And there was always everybody would pick a different person to go down the gap first, and I was always never that guy. Like I'd be like, "You got it, Bob." Like so they were better than me, and I was like, "You be the first one to jump it. I don't want to be the first one to jump it." And one time, who's going first? I was like, "Yeah, it's been. I'll go." In Mexico City, I don't know about altitude, and I don't like straight airing it. I only 360 it because it's just like easier for me. And as soon as I took off, I spin, and then I look over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh, because the altitude makes you go way faster, like a whole different thing. And they had the same roll in, like it's all the same. It's the same as what it was in LA. But I was going 15 foot further than I usually do, and I'm doing this with my hands,
Rolling up the windows.
trying to make my body go down. But I landed in the last bit of the transition before the flat. Like at one point, I was like, "Oh, it is over! Like for sure over."
Going all the way to flat.
I landed the pocket, and I remember like I think it was Pierre and Luke that was going to go next, and I was like, "Don't go! Wait! I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody needs to hear this," because I don't think they saw how far down I landed.
you don't see landing from the
Yeah,
from
they're like,
the
"Oh, he
starting
bailed."
ground.
I'm like, "You don't know why I bailed." But yeah, and then they nailed a piece of wood under the roll in so that we could all tail drop because the roll in was too far. Like you would all die.
That happened to Rune on Hucksham. He jumped it and didn't get a good landing, and then once his board hit, it pitched him to the flat. Oh, so he only got a little bit of a landing, and then all the way to the ground. He was out. He was out for like a week of shows. Oh. Yeah.
Man, the worst one was Danny in China.
the first time he jumped the gap, he came up short. And the gap there, it's not like any other mega ramp ever built. It was twice as steep landing over the gap and no roll in. It was a sharp point. So
it's a deck and then
a deck and then your downhill section. And, you know, he's Danny, you know, and they built it. It's in China. I don't know if there's altitude there. Like, none of us were definitely talking about altitude whatsoever. And he rolls in and threes it, obviously, because he's Danny. And I remember thinking, you're fine over the gap, but when you land, this thing is like that opposed to like that. And I was like, when you hit that quarter pipe, you're going to hit it like no one's ever hit it before. And sure, you're the guy that's done the 20-foot backs of there. I respect that, but this is not going to be 20, dude. This is going to be 30. And I was scared for him. And he's in the air, and I'm like, yeah. And then I see that little wiggle, and I'm like, oh, dude, he's going to be short. And it was like, he had like almost had the option that, you know, where you could shoot your feet in front of you and try to get your butt to miss the top, but it was just a little too short, and he put his feet on the deck, and it blew one of his ankles out, like destroyed it. I think it broke it, but he got like injections in it and still skated. He skated the next day, made it over the gap, and then hit that quarter pipe. I don't know how high it was, but as soon as he took off, board throws the board because it just ejected him so high.
There was no deck on that quarter pipe, right?
No. There was no deck for that photo I took. There was a deck.
Oh, okay.
They were taking it down when I started doing tricks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be.
Yeah, he rode that quarter pipe with no deck.
I didn't. I rode the quarter pipe with no deck, not over the gap. I did it. It was Jake Phelps bet me $100 that I couldn't do a pivot to fakie on it, and I was like, of course I can do it. So I did it, but. Pivot to fakie, you don't. I don't do pivot to fakie in limbo.
Yeah, but it's hard. I've skated those quarter pipes as quarter pipes, just doing lip tricks.
Yeah,
it's really hard to gauge exactly how much speed you need to hit the top.
I'd had some rides.
It is.
You had some rides.
I'd had some rides. So I did
I'm trying to pump you up here. You're making.
I'm not going to
just keep downplaying.
I'm not that good, dude. You guys are awesome. It's okay.
Fine.
I'm funny. It's okay.
Oh man, yeah, that was gnarly. That was so gnarly. I remember looking at that and being like, "What the like? Why? Like it was so gnarly." I'm like, "Oh my!"
It was his mindset, like how bad his ankle was the night before from rolling it, and then going, "I'm doing it tomorrow." And I was in the hotel room and I'm looking at his ankle and I'm like, you know, I'm there with DC. I'm there with Danny to be encouraging, you know. And I was like, yeah, no, you've got it. And I was like, I'm gonna go to my room, and I went back to my room like, he is not gonna do it. He is dead. Like there's no way he's walking tomorrow. And then when he showed up and like got out of the van and walked over, he's limping. He's got a giant ankle brace on, but it looked broken. It didn't look sprained. It looked broken. Like it was just a big bag of swollen purple. And I'm like, that's not a slight sprain. That's an annihilated ankle. And then he jumps the gap and then does an air that's like probably 25 feet and comes out to the lower part of the transition. So he's got to put that foot down. And it was like, wha-boom! And immediately he's holding the ankle like fair enough. And then we're all over there, medical, everyone. He's holding it, you know, cringing. His face is a little bit gray. And then, I don't know, it seemed like maybe 4 minutes or something. And he's like, I'm up, I'm going up. And I was like, I think I might have even looked at his wife or something, like somebody who he really cares about. Can you tell him to stop?
Because he made it over.
He made it over the gap, but he wanted to do the quarter pipe. And I get it. Like they built this giant monstrosity, and if he had made an air on the quarter pipe, it would have broken his record by a ton. And I don't think, still to this day, I don't think even the one they built in Hawaii, I don't think the way that was lined up, I don't think he was going to go as high as if he had done the one in China. But the one in China was just like, it seemed like the design was a bad idea. Sorry, Danny, but it just seemed like this roll in for that. It was so much longer as well. And I was like, you're definitely breaking the speeds of anybody on vert. Like maybe he didn't break the world record of the quarter pipe backs of there, but this speed, whatever he was doing there before he hit the quarter pipe was for sure the fastest
any of us have gone. And it was just like watching him land with that ankle brace on and getting ready to do that back sit down. I'd be like, we shouldn't be here. Like, somebody needs to stop him.
We're all accomplices.
Yeah, the crowd, the Japanese police, like, shame. You know what I mean? Like, you should have stopped us. They stopped me. I was trying to do, because I was getting all happy doing stuff on the no deck thing. And I was doing the one more, you know what I mean? And the guy like pulled his gun out, and I was like, okay, yeah, no.
Oh, that's next level.
I don't need it. Like, they all had like machine guns and stuff, so they were pretty legit. But it was like, I was like, hey, like one more, and nobody smiled at all. They're like, no. And I politely walked all the way down the bank thing, like, yep, not total, yep, bye.
Yeah. I was just joking.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't even say that. I didn't say nothing about a joke. I was just like, yes, I respect that.
No, I'm a moving target. See if you can hit me. Ready? Pull.
There was one invert where my hand was a little over the top of it, and my heart skipped just for a second. Like when I did the hand plant, my hand was like too far up, and usually your thumb is on the deck, but there's no deck. So like when I grabbed the coping, my thumb was like a little bit further over than I would have liked. I didn't stall it, but it was just like, ah! And then because if you go down the other side, it was just scaffolding. Oh. So like maybe like some metal poles would have like.
I would way rather fall 27 feet without scaffolding than fall 27 feet through scaffolding. That would suck.
I think either way,
just boom, 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 and then you hit the ground. Like,
either way, it's a wrap.
You might catch something.
Oh yeah! Oh, grab on.
Not with my twigs. There's no way I'm catching anything
with my
falling
face.
down, dude. There's no way.
Catch it with my hands.
Yeah.
Have you had any? I mean, you've had injuries, but what has been the most challenging injury for you?
Oh, let's see. The most challenging injuries have been the ankles, just like upper ankle sprains, posterior tendon tear. Those have definitely been the most challenging, and they've been the most challenging because like I don't have any time to rest them. Like
what about nothing broken?
Nothing broken. No, I mean I've had little like fractures, but like nothing like broken. I broke both. I mean, are you talking like in the ankles?
Oh, anywhere.
Oh yeah, I broke both my elbows, both my collarbones, both sides of my skull.
So your collarbones, they both have hardware, both sides?
No, just my right side.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I broke both of my collarbones back to back within 4 weeks snowboarding.
Nice. I did that dirt bike, both elbows. 3 months later, both elbows, same jump.
Yeah,
I thought mine was bad, but that's bad.
Yeah.
Both elbows.
Yeah.
Do you have arthritis in both your elbows now, or do you do PTs and stuff?
I mean, sometimes they're a bit sore. Like if I overextend on a punch, I'll be like, ah!
Oh, it's so bad.
And
right
then
here?
I guess I do have like a thing where it locks and then it clicks.
Yep.
Is that arthritis?
Yes.
Well then, I've got arthritis.
Yeah, I broke this elbow.
I'm glad to diagnose you. Yep, I
broke this elbow and mine has to click into place.
Yours
straight.
Yeah, you
but
got
I mean,
it too.
ever since I did it. And
Woo!
So,
arthritis party at my house tonight. Let's go.
Stem cells and PRP.
Yeah. Have you done that yet?
Yes, I've done both. I've done both of them on both ankles.
Yeah.
PRP?
Yeah, PRP and stem cells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go out of the country for stem cells?
No, I stay in country. Yeah, there's just
Olympic connections.
Well,
is that what it is?
I mean, there's just levels. No, nothing's illegal about them. There's like levels. Like if you go to foreign countries, you can do like IV stem cells, which are illegal.
I've done it.
But like that's great for you.
Yeah, it is.
That's great for you.
I gotta get back.
Like stem cells.
No, I'm doing that with Riley actually in a couple weeks.
That's awesome. Yeah, you'll feel great. I mean, I honestly, I've never known anything to heal as fast as PRP and stem cells do. And also, I've done like cortisone. I've done all the other steroids, and like they just weaken the tissue. They make it worse. They make it great for a period of time, and then it's just
I've only done cortisone once, only because I had to do an event.
Contest.
Yeah.
But I did the PRP on my knee. It worked, but it was the most painful procedure that I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me faint. Like it made me actually start to faint. So I thought I was going to do it and walk out and drive home. And they're like, yeah, you might want to hang out for a bit. And I was like, yeah. And then I got up and was like, oh, I'm gonna.
It's pretty bad. I actually did it one time on my hip flexor. on my left hip flexor,
Yeah.
that was brutal.
Yeah, I
because
did it.
that when I do it on my ankle, it's not as invasive. Right?
But
Like
with your ankles now, do you have limitation because of all the sprains and all the trauma?
no, I have no limitations. I also
So it didn't
do,
change your flick or anything like that.
No, not at all. I think the only thing that's been a problem is like the recovery time, because like the last time I hurt my right ankle, it was an upper ankle sprain, and then because of that, I hurt my left ankle, which gave myself a posterior tendon tear. So I hurt both ankles while trying to skate on the one hurt ankle.
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I did that on
and
a
that
birdhouse
took
tour. Same
that
thing.
took like 5 months to heal, because I was still training and skating, but also getting operated on. And then I did like 3 weeks in a boot, or 3 weeks in 2 boots, which was pretty funny. 3 weeks in 2 boots, and then got out and then started skating. So really, it's been hard to like recover, but now like I'm back to 100%, which is I didn't think I was going to be at all this year, but I'm stoked.
That's fascinating because
Yeah,
Riley he broke an ankle. He wrecked one so bad. Like he would have probably benefited him if he had broken it.
Yeah.
And now he
'Cause he tore
has
tendons, right?
limitations on his like what tricks he could do or flick and
On
the
which
speed of it.
ankle?
Mostly his front one.
front
but
one.
yeah,
And he's goofy or regular?
he's goofy.
He's goofy, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, it just takes time. I honestly, I think that...
Do you feel like you have benefited from the resources of all the Olympic medical expertise?
Yes, of course. Like I've been blessed to have some of the greatest like medical doctors work on me, and also talk to tons of orthopedic surgeons and all sorts of stuff to like help me find the best route. But truly, I think that...
But it sounds like you were already making those connections before.
I was making connections before because of my family's history in gymnastics.
Yeah.
So I've known a lot of really good PTs, and I also did yoga and all sorts of stuff when I was a kid, just to like stay fit.
That for sure makes you get less injuries.
Yes.
The more flexible you are, the less you get injured when you smash yourself on the ground, for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
What was it? Who's the amazing street? Tom Penny.
Yeah.
He was somebody that when I started hanging out with him was drinking a lot, smoking a lot, and I was like, how do you get away with stuff? And he's like, I've been doing yoga since I was a little kid with my mom. And I was like, I should have done that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been training since I was 8 or 9. I also don't
still
drink.
do it?
I'm on a strict diet. I do what?
Yoga.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do all those things regularly.
Yes.
Strict diet, you say?
Strict diet. Yeah.
Always have been? Since you're a kid, or?
I mean, when I was 13 to 18, I didn't really care, right? Because that's just when you're just skating all day, you're just enjoying it. But after 18, I was like, okay, my body's starting to like I'm starting to really hurt myself, and it's like the recovery time's getting tough. And when I noticed the type of
Let
clarity,
me tell you something.
Yeah, the type of clarity that eating healthy does, and not drinking, and being on a strict sleeping schedule, supplementing for your deficiencies, like doing things like that, really have helped me gain clarity on like just being healthy overall. That's really helpful.
Figured that out 52 days ago. After a contest, like eating right, like why would I eat right if I'm gonna drink all the alcohol that I can get? Like, do you think a cheeseburger is gonna make it any worse? But I MMA taught me diet.
Yes,
Because I was like, all these guys were like, you don't know what a green drink is? I was like, sounds disgusting. No. And then watching all those people and what they look like when they take their shirts off, and I'm like, hey, abs, what's that like? And it's like, what do you eat, dude? I'm like, whatever I'm given. Like,
well, and also like physique is all nutrition.
right.
It's all nutrition.
Like going to the gym, if you get hurt, if you eat clean, and really militant style, and don't eat after a certain time, you don't need to go to the gym at all to get abs.
Yeah, you
It's
don't.
like if you get jacked, go to the gym 5 days a week and eat, well, there's like a bigger, bulky jacked, but still the lean, the shredded thing. That's only diet, right?
Yeah. Well, I used to do 200 push-ups and 200 sit-ups every day I did it for like probably 4 or 5 months straight.
You don't anymore?
I don't do that anymore. No.
Why not?
I don't do that anymore because I eat to 80% of my fullness 3 times a day, and I do an ocean plunge in the morning at 6:45 for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I do the ocean plunge at night. And
You do ocean plunge at night?
at night, yeah.
Every night?
Every night, yeah.
You go to the beach, freezing cold, and then go in the water.
Yes.
When you say plunge in the ocean, do you do 3 minutes, or is it just you dip in?
I do 10.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening.
That's why you good, dude.
Yeah.
But what about in the summer?
In the summer, I do the same thing. Yeah,
But I mean,
It's not cold.
it's not cold, but to me, like, I think that the ocean it's just, I don't know.
power
This,
in
yeah,
there.
this is going to be like spiritual.
No,
but
I believe
there's
it.
something really powering about grounding in the ocean in the morning.
I got it from this
And-
MMA UFC fighter, Diego Sanchez, and my first pro fight, I was like, he goes, I get power from the ocean. I go in every morning, and I was like, right, that's what I'm doing. And I lived in Santa Monica, and Santa Monica doesn't usually rain, but it was raining, and I also didn't know about if it rains that there's like
you get sick.
there's like a bunch of stuff in the ocean, and I went in. I remember running in the rain and like going past a cafeteria, and there were people smoking, and I was like, they have no idea the levels. You know what I mean? Like I thought, I was like, I'm a superhuman. You're a bitch to me. Like I was so ferocious in my mind. And then I went in there, and it was like nobody at Santa Monica near the pier. Not one person was in the water, and I was like, why is nobody? I mean, I get it's raining, but still, like there's some waves and stuff, and I'm in there swimming around, and I come back, and my fight was the next day, and then I felt kind of sick, and I thought maybe it was nerves, and then after the fight, I got sick. So like if I had it like got me sick.
Yeah, I mean, I
didn't know that.
Actually, I heard that from actually Keegan Palmer. He was in Rio, and he was surfing before the Stew event out there, and he got really sick, like surfing in the rain in Brazil and stuff. And I never get into the rain because of that, but like for example, like this morning, it was like white capping. It was terrible. Yeah. And so I still got in, but I'm just like I sucked. But then I got back in my car and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it was like.
But
Do you have a cold plunge?
Yes. Yeah, I
do
do
that
cold
too.
plunge stuff. Yeah, I honestly I did the cold plunge in Arizona. Like I have a freezer that we fill with water that's really cold that gets to about 45, 47 degrees.
That's freezing,
Which
yep.
is really cold. And I do that for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But
You can do 5?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really
He's
think
tougher than me.
I think
You
it's
gotta
more,
hire him.
I hate 5.
Well, I
In
added
his free
breath work,
time.
too. Breath work changed the game for me.
To stay in there longer.
Yeah, because I do. So I get in the water for 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
I get out and I do breath work at the beach, and then I get back in.
See,
So like the breath work for me created like
I got my own breath work. What I say is I cuss a lot, and I scream and yell about how stupid I am for being in here, and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like I'm really bummed. I got to get out. But you're saying, is it Wim Hof?
it's more just diaphragmatic breathing. Like
Who?
Like breathing through your
Diaphragm.
stomach.
Yeah.
Like it's more just that I do like 30 breaths and then I get back in and I'm like okay, like I'm good.
So 30 breaths, and it's easier to get back in the cold.
Yes.
Can you teach me that
110%.
after the show?
110%.
Thank you.
I got you. Yeah, it's not that bad, but I mean, I think
not that
that
good
just as
either.
a kid, it's always been such like a regiment, like just to like get up and do something like that,
Oh, yeah.
like get in the cold water, and now it's it's kind of just become a part of the schedule.
Wow.
My phone's over here. I have like my whole routine on like my wallpaper.
I could have been great. God damn it, man.
Hey, I was gonna ask you, did Cock Diesel ever get a contract?
What?
Did Cock Diesel ever get a contract?
Wait, do you listen to the show?
I've heard it on the show, but I also saw the video of him doing handstands. I gotta ask, man, what happened to him?
No, he didn't get a contract. What the hell? Man, I've almost forgot that existed. Like, I'm like, wait, why do I know that name?
Man, that video of him doing handstands is so funny, and it's also so hard to handstand on a skateboard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm back. Yeah. The black guy in the
Yes,
tour. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we went on a Bonus Brigade mini ramp tour. This is like, you know me on mini ramps. Like, I'm like, man, okay, if like a demo. Like, I like skating mini ramps, but I don't want to do a demo. I don't have any tricks. And Mike Vallely and all those people that could do stuff on there. And we show up to some town. I forgot what the town was. And this guy, he's got like real long cargo shorts on, a weird striped tank top. And he's like, yo, you guys might need to get me in the demo. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm Cock Diesel. And I was like, that is a sick name. Like, maybe we should get you in the demo. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I ain't trying to skate that ramp, but I got some stuff. Handstands. I be doing handstands. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But then he handstand the crap out of that board. Like, he could just go for miles, and then he would like flip it
and land on it, and he just didn't look like he skated. He had he had like New Balances on or something. Like he just didn't have any skate vibes. And his name was not a very skate-orientated name. But his confidence, like he just moved into all of us. Yo, Cockteasel in the demo. And I'm like, maybe. And then he made it in the video and you saw it. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was so funny. He was handstand on like 4 boards.
Oh,
that's what it was. He stacked boards.
It was like stack of boards, yeah.
He had a crowd. Like he kind of stole the show. Yeah.
There was a guy a while back on Letterman when Letterman was still on the air, and he claimed to be like the handstand, master skateboarding, and he was supposed to handstand the entire block of the Letterman building. Yeah, and he couldn't make it.
Wait, he kept falling.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
It was. I mean, he probably was just nerves, but it was. I remember watching, going, "Oh, this is cool." Oh, that poor dude.
Oh, dude, you're letting us all down.
Yeah, it didn't work out. We used to. There was. I remember on those Bones Brigade tours when we just had jump ramps. We would have to travel with the jump ramps in the van. So we had like a box and a jump ramp that went kind of on the box. Like the box was the base for the jump ramp, but it was also a box you could grind on one side. And we would just have to travel with all that stuff. And we would show up to whatever, some skate shop, parking lot. And then this one in particular, we were just getting heckled from the get-go. Like as soon as we got out, they're like, come on, bring 8th Street. Like, what's up? And we're just like, yeah, cool. Nice to see you. Hello. Wait, we're the Bones Brigade. Like me and Tommy and Kevin Harris. And this one dude the whole time was just like, let me go. Let me ride. And we're like, you know what? Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just go. Because I don't want to do this. Like no one's hyped on it. You guys hate us. Yeah. And then he just destroyed himself like 4 times in a row.
Made you guys.
That made
so
the whole
good.
demo.
Yeah.
Right there. Everybody loved
I mean, it was
slam.
for us. It was validating.
Very satisfying.
Yeah, it was like, it's good. See what happens.
Yeah, no, it's not as easy as it looks, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is a good person to have there when that's happening.
So what's next, Jagger?
What's next?
Paris is this year.
Yeah, Paris is this year in August.
Are you going to be in Park and Street?
Hopefully. That's the plan.
So you're trying to qualify for both?
Yes. Yeah, right now I'm number 1 in the world in Park and 2nd overall American in Street. And they take top teams from each country.
Yeah, that looks good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I just don't underestimate these dudes, man. It is like it's tough, and these guys are so good. And the way that it's formatted is there's one more Phase 1 event. So Phase 1 is 5 contests in each, roughly, and it's like an accumulation of points each time.
Yeah.
But Phase 2 is 2 contests, and those 2 contests hold just one of those 2 contests holds the weight of all 5 Phase 1 contests.
Oh damn.
So like
I've tried to follow it. I can't. Don't try.
I'll try to explain.
Okay.
So each Phase 1 contest is worth.
I follow it, and I'm still like, I don't know.
Okay, then don't bother.
I guess you got a couple more chances.
I think
that's what I take away from it.
Each Phase 1 contest is worth 50 to 80,000 points.
Okay.
And one Phase 2 contest is worth 250,000 points.
Damn.
I'm not going to ask any
All right,
questions.
well, you know what?
It's just a lot more
Good luck at
pressure.
Phase 2.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah. Have fun with all your phases, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there. I'll be in Paris.
Oh, sweet.
And looking forward to seeing there. And congrats on everything, Jagger. You're killing it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Stoked
Killing
to have
it.
you on the
Like.
show.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Unreal
Thank you so
skating.
much for all that. Yeah, I mean, it's such an honor to be here with you guys. I know so much about you guys' skating. I'm such fans.
Cock Diesel, say no more.
Yeah, I'm a big fan here.
He's in the weeds.
Hey, we're a fan too. So thanks for coming through and good luck.
Of course. Thank you.
Like and
Watch this
subscribe.
dude. Maestro.